You were not sleeping in my bed, Tony!
Carmela Soprano isn't a victim. She's darker than Tony, and here's why no one wants to admit it.
If you want her to leave, then you're gonna have to tell her, because I'm not. It's not Christian.
Carmela Soprano has long been mislabeled as the show's moral counterweight. The Catholic housewife clutching her pearls while her husband orders executions over a plate of gabagool. Look closer, though, and the facade collapses. Carmela isn't simply complicit. She is one of the Sopranos' darkest figures, because she is both participant and denier.
Dice.
You already took your cut.
Predator and victim. Hypocrite and queen. The pivotal Richie April episode illustrates this perfectly.
Well, what about Richie?
Richie's gone. I took care of it.
Tony comes home to inform Carmela that Richie has been taken care of. Her response? A shrug, followed by a pivot back to vacation plans.
After Meadows' graduation, me and Rosalie April are going to Rome.
No hysteria, no moral reckoning. Just the smooth absorption of yet another corpse into the wallpaper of suburban life. Yes, technically Richie was killed by Janice, not Tony. But Carmela's indifference to yet another vanishing act is the point. Richie isn't mourned because no one, inside or outside the mob, could stomach him. But Carmela's ability to treat murder as background noise is the defining note of her character.
You need to show resolve.
Of course, she occasionally acts surprised. She questions Tony when disappearances pile up.
My best friend, Pussy, has disappeared.
She even expresses guilt, confesses to her priest, and pretends to want answers. But every flicker of conscience is swiftly smothered by denial. She knows, but doesn't know.
They know, but they don't know.
She suspects, but prefers not to confirm.
Stop asking.
Tony tells her to stop asking questions, and she dutifully obeys, all while continuing to sip wine in her mansion built on blood money. This is not innocence. It is willful blindness masquerading as morality.
UE320 just came in, and I thought you might want to take a look.
The wives of the Sopranos are presented as suburban ornaments, competing over cars, homes, and jewelry.
What do you think's keeping Ginny in Butter Brickle?
Yet they are not oblivious trophies. They are survivors. Their luxury is inseparable from violence, and they know it.
Vito has to be made to face his problem square.
Filiatardo's wife Patty didn't just tolerate mob life. She lit the fuse on Vito's murder, insisting he be forced to face his problems squarely.
Jenny Sack had to move in with her fucking daughter!
Ginny Sack loyally enabled her husband while blissfully ignoring the consequences. Even Angie Bonpensiero, who at least took her widowhood and carved out independence, understood exactly why her husband disappeared.
We can't be in denial no more.
These women aren't duped. They are enablers who cultivate denial as a survival mechanism. Carmela's particular brand of denial is dressed up in Catholic guilt. She consults Father Intantola, whose hypocrisy is almost comic, warning against divorce while ignoring that his congregant's husband is a murderer. Another priest spells it out plainly. Leave Tony, take nothing, don't live off blood money.
We file a tax return to justify the house, the cars.
Carmela recoils because she knows the bargain she's made. She will not give up her McMansion, her SUVs, or the emerald-cut rings. Her soul is negotiable. Her square footage is not.
Georgetown, it's his first choice.
I wish it was Meadows. She wants to go to Berkeley.
The show is littered with examples of Carmela weaponizing her position.
You wanted me to write a letter to...
She pressures Cusimano's sister-in-law for a recommendation letter for Meadow. She bakes pies for college deans while flashing the Soprano name as an unspoken threat. She toys with Furio, using her sexuality as leverage.
Listen, Carmela, I think I know why you're here.
She manipulates men who are powerless against her, even as she presents herself as the long-suffering spouse. This is not passive complicity. It is active participation in the family's machinery of intimidation.
I could deal with the Kumars. I knew I was better than that.
Her hypocrisy is the sharpest blade. Carmela rails against Tony's infidelity while happily bankrolling her lifestyle with the profits of his brutality. She projects moral superiority while parroting lies, telling Adriana's mother her daughter ran off with some guy, knowing full well that Adriana was murdered. She insists Tony is a criminal, but downplays the scale of his violence, as though racketeering without murder would be more palatable.
I got a meeting of concerned Catholic mothers.
She clings to Catholicism while discarding every ethical precept it teaches.
Fielder, is it?
Meadow.
Even her parenting reveals the rot. She sabotages Meadow's independence when it threatens her control. She blocks AJ from opportunities if they don't serve her vision. She oscillates between indulgence and authoritarian manipulation, ensuring her children inherit the same moral quicksand she chose for herself. Carmela's defenders argue she is merely trapped, a product of the world she married into.
You know what I want, Tony? I want those kids to have a father.
But she knew exactly who that man was when she married him. She admits as much. She also knew she could walk away.
Moments ago, you used the word divorce.
Dr. Krakauer, the Jewish psychiatrist, told her bluntly to take nothing and leave. Her refusal wasn't naivety. It was greed. She liked the Porsche SUV, the beach house, the illusion of respectability.
This is our chance to get out, Tony.
She chose the gilded cage and then cried about its bars. This duality, both victim and villain, is what makes Carmela such a brilliant creation. She isn't the cartoonish mob matriarch, nor the ignorant wife who doesn't want to know. She knows plenty. She simply values status over morality. In that sense, she is New Jersey's Eva Braun, the respectable face of monstrosity, perfectly coiffed while sipping Chardonnay over the graves her husband dug. One could argue Carmela is darker than Tony.
Nowadays, everybody's got to go to shrinks and counselors.
Tony is at least honest about his brutality. He kills, cheats, and rationalizes it openly. Carmela cloaks her corruption in the language of Catholic guilt, pretending to be holier than thou while wielding her husband's power whenever it suits her.
I can't declare X amount of my income.
Tony commits the crimes, but Carmela launders them through suburban respectability. She makes the horror look palatable.
I would financially back her spec house, and she would...
By the end of the series, her survival strategy is complete. Denial, indulgence, and selective morality. She knows Ade didn't run off.
24 years, he disappears.
She knows Pussy didn't vanish without cause.
Richie April's in the Bermuda Triangle.
She knows Richie didn't retire to Florida. But she also knows her kitchen is filled with granite countertops.
Want a Mercedes?
Her driveway with luxury cars, and her closets with fur coats. The bloodstains are there if she cares to look, but she's long since trained herself to see only the shine.
You and the furniture and the clothes and the cars, you would have spent everything I made!
In the grand taxonomy of Sopranos characters, Carmela deserves no special leniency. She is as greedy, hypocritical, and morally bankrupt as the men she enables. Perhaps worse, because she insists on wearing the costume of virtue, while feasting on the fruits of vice. Call it denial, call it survival, call it Catholic guilt, but let's not pretend it's innocence. Carmela Soprano is not a victim who lost herself in Tony's shadow. She is the mafia's most respectable monster, a woman who chose to look away, and in doing so, became darker than the crimes she pretended not to see. Carmela made her peace with hypocrisy. You can make yours by subscribing.